Sometimes our business is stagnant and we don't know why. We'll blame the market, we'll blame the recession, we'll blame inflation, we'll blame sales for not closing enough, we'll blame marketing for not generating enough leads. But as a service-based business, consultant, coaching, agency, whatever line of services you're in, what it almost always comes down to is an issue with your offer market fit. Now, I'm sure you've heard of a product market fit, which is defined as the degree to which a product satisfies a strong market demand. Now, obviously, as agencies or consultants, we don't have a product per se, that's our service. And what our service really is, it's an offer. It's what we do for the market. And so many times, we do not reevaluate the impact of what we're doing and for who we're doing it for. I define offer market fit as, are we doing the right thing for our client base that maximizes outcomes at a price that makes sense? I mean, think about it. If we can do that, we can run this service no matter what the economic climate is. If we are adjusting our offer to who our target client is, then we have the ability to continuously serve and provide in a way that's constantly putting them in the best position. But a lot of times what we do is we stagnate. We say, we do SEO. This is all that we do. We can do it for more people. And if you're trying to sell SEO to a market that doesn't want it or can't afford it, then you're going to stagnate and you're probably going to blame other things. And I promise you, mastering this is one of the most impactful things that you can do for any service-based business, whether you're an agency, consultant, coach, whatever it is. This will always make sure that you're staying ahead of the curve and ahead of the market. So what I want to do in this video is give you 4 different examples of how you can adjust your offer market fit to make sure that we're always winning for our clients. So as I said earlier, the offer is what we do, and the market is who we do it for. Now, if you can't clearly define either of these right now, then that's probably a problem. Because if you're still just selling a service to anyone who you think will pay for it, you're already inconsistent, you're already incongruent, you don't have a target market, you don't know who you're trying to sell to. So how can you build the best what if you don't know who you're selling to? Because doing SEO or paid search or Facebook ads for a law firm is dramatically different than doing it for an e-commerce shop. So right here, if you don't have both of these clearly defined, you're already losing. So using my agency as the simplest example here, we specialize in working with law firms, specifically PI law firms, because they have the largest budgets. So that's who our market is. The offer that we do is blended search marketing. We do both SEO and paid search for law firms because it is the best way for law firms to generate more clients. Now, if I'm working with, I don't know, software companies, if that's my who, I probably wouldn't do SEO and paid search because that's not the best way for them to get clients. So not only do we have to define both of these, but we have to make sure that they're consistent. And consistent means it needs to drive a positive outcome in terms of acquisition. Marketing's role is to drive more customers and make your clients more sales. If you're not doing that, or you're not optimizing to that or selling that, you're making your life a lot harder than it needs to be. And getting results is much easier. You might be a little bit having, I don't know, call it imposter syndrome, that you don't feel like you can get more clients. You can't guarantee more clients for a company. But that's probably because this is out of whack. And I'm going to give you some examples that are going to drive that home and really, really help you understand this. So let's talk about example 1 here. Let's say your offer is SEO, right? A lot of people watching this are SEOs. They're like, hey, I've been doing SEO for 10 years. I ain't changing now. I'm not learning Facebook. I'm not dancing on TikTok. SEO is what we do. Well, if that's the case and you're stagnating and you're not growing, you need to really evaluate who you do it for. Because again, when you look at the impact of SEO on businesses, I'm picking on software, but let's look at software as an example. So we type in something like best CRM software. We get all these ads up here from listicles directly from these companies, and that's fine. You know, you could make the argument that paid search might help, but the cost per click here is really high. And when we scroll down, we see the intent behind a lot of this. First and foremost, if you are not a massive brand, you're probably not gonna get visibility here. So if you're working with a startup CRM or a younger CRM, even just getting into this pack here is gonna be extremely difficult and competitive. But then we scroll down and what do we see? We don't see any website URLs here. We see roundups, we see listicles, we see aggregator websites, we see Forbes, Investopedia, Neil Patel. We don't see any actual CRM websites down here, which tells me that the intent when somebody's searching for this software, which is gonna be a huge keyword for them, that they're just looking to browse, they're looking to shop. There's not a lot of conversion intent there. And on top of that, the ones that do get this are the biggest ones in the industry. Just punching up for organic visibility here would be really difficult. So you can make the argument, okay, well then we'll do a content marketing campaign. Well, content in the SaaS space has gotten incredibly saturated. Everyone and their mom has been cranking out blog content for a long time. There's just really no direct opportunity to get visibility for organic searches or for paid searches that are going to drive more customers. It's much more of an indirect traffic channel. Instead, money is probably better spent on social media, building funnels on Facebook, YouTube, stuff like that, to try and get people off of social and into their ecosystem that way. But then if we look at another market, like let's say roofers near Miami, right? I'm in Miami. What we see here is ads, right? More ads, local search results here. and then more organic results down here. So we type in roofers near me. We work with a bunch of roofing companies. Yeah, so I know for a fact that they get clients from Google search, but there's all these direct conversion opportunities here that this search will result in a conversion at the end of it. So again, we go back the CRM software, you're searching for best CRM software. You have to ask yourself, are any of these searches, if you are a prospect, going to end up in a lead? Probably not. When we go here though, if you're looking for a roofer near me, do you think that any of these searches are going to end up in a call, a conversion, a lead? Yes, absolutely. I know this for a fact because we work with the largest roofing companies in the Midwest. We're currently driving 200, 300 leads per month from paid search and organic search. It crushes it. It's by far and away their number one lead source, and also by far and away their number one source of acquisition for new customers. So the point I'm trying to make here with scenario one is that if you want to stick to doing SEO, you've got to find a market that ends up in a conversion off of the click. Again, going back to this example, soft versus roofing home companies. If you're looking for software, right? Do you just go to Google, type it in, and then land on a software and then sign up for it? No. But if you're looking for a roofer, if you're looking for a pest, if you're looking for HVAC, I do it all the time. I've hired plenty of home services people right off of Google. I just want to call someone, talk to someone that's going to pick up their phone, be reliable, and bang, you can have my business. So that's option number one. If you want to stick to the offer, you got to make sure that the market fits with it. Another option here for offer market fit is going back to our agency, Weber. So like I said, our who is law firm, specifically PI. What is search marketing, SEO, and paid search? Why do we do SEO and paid search? Because those are the best way for law firms to generate phone calls. Social media doesn't really work, and all the other stuff just creates a lot of work, but doesn't generate a whole lot of leads. Search marketing crushes it for law firms. It's just brutally competitive. So what we're finding when we analyze and go deeper into the market, and this is also why it's so important to specialize, because you can go very deep into that market. You can learn so much, and then you can apply it back to your offer. So working in this market, what we found is that there's a lot of big law firms spending a lot of big money that's suppressing a lot of the small market law firms. And the small market law firms still have $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month to spend on SEO and marketing. So they have the budget, but the market is suppressing them. So what we're doing now is we changed our offer to hyper focus on local SEO. So again, we come back here and we just look at this search and we scroll down and we say, roofers is actually very similar to the law firm space when it comes to SEO. There's a lot of noise up here. We see this one up here. These are local service ads. This is the first thing that shows up on this search. Great placement. Then we have pay-per-click ads, organic SEO ads, and then organic SEO down here. And say realistically, what's the best way to get them clients? If I just look at one thing here, it's probably these local service ads, right? This is a great placement right here at the top of the SERPs, the first thing that people see. So that's not something that we've done with our traditional offer, but now we've modified our search offer to say, we're going to do LSAs for you for free as a kicker, because they're so low effort for us to set up. It takes 1 or 2 hours for us to set them up. They're not like traditional pay-per-click ads. They're very simple. They're very easy, and they drive phone calls very quickly. So what we've done is by learning more about our market and learning more about what they're willing to spend on, right? They can't spend for PPC, SEO, all these different things. So we're saying, okay, if you do SEO with us, right, a simple SEO campaign, then we'll do your LSAs for free, which is going to help them, right? SEO is a long-term play. They're not going to get phone calls. They're not going to get leads very quickly, but LSAs will. So we're using those LSAs to drive leads very quickly, and then over time optimizing for organic. So it's a win-win. They're getting what they need quickly without having to do a $20,000, $30,000 a month paid search campaign, because that's how much it would cost. And we're also finding a space that makes sense pricing-wise. Okay, so option number 2 was simple tack-ons or add-ons that you can put onto your offer to make more sense for your market. Number 3 is very similar, but a little bit more robust. We're going to be creating upsells or downsells to our market to really help them get to where they need. So again, looking at what's happening in the market. I mean, shit, look at what's happening across the whole country. It's extremely expensive. Law firms are feeling that burn too. So they don't want to spend a ton of money because they've been burnt before, because, you know, things are a little bit tighter now. So they can't do a $10,000, $20,000 campaign, but they can do 5. Right? Well, I say, okay, what can we do for 5? Well, coming back to the SERP here, we can't do everything. If we did these ads, local SEO, traditional SEO, content marketing, that's a lot of work, right? Especially in the link building in the legal space, we're talking about, you know, a very expensive campaign. But if, again, we come here and we say, okay, you can do 5. Well, what is the simplest and fastest way for us to get results from search? Well, LSA is number 1, easy, low effort, high impact. These are very expensive, so we don't want to do pay-per-click. But then we look at local SEO. Local SEO has the best placement in all of Google. This is by far and away the best placement. So why not just focus on optimizing this? This will get big results, so we can punch them up here, do the LSAs, and then we've massively stripped down our service, because we don't have to do pay-per-click. We don't have to do content marketing. We don't have to do all the technical stuff. We just got to do some light optimizations to the website, build some links, and then do some local stuff on GBP and get some reviews. And we're probably going to punch them up. And then, on top of that, we're going to do LSAs for free. So by creating that as a downsell or a lower ticket offer from what we usually do, we've been crushing it. We've been selling this in, and now we're extremely profitable on the service too, because we're actually putting less effort into the offer. So you can also go up market with this too by creating a higher ticket offer based on the needs of the market. So this can go the other way too. If you get a PI firm in that's like, yo, they have the budget, they can do all this stuff, they should do all this stuff, we got to do it for them, right? If I'm looking at this and saying, what's the absolute best way if money's not an option to get more visibility for a law firm? It's doing LSAs, it's doing paid search, doing local SEO, it's doing content marketing, it's doing link building. All those things together will result in explosive results, but not everyone can pay for it. So if people can, we want to make sure that we have that upsell offer to sell to them. And then option number 4 is going to be to create a unique, brand new offer that just meets the blossoming needs or the changing needs of your market. So an example that I love to use here, I'm going to put him on the spot. Brendan Hufford, he's a coach here. He's done some teachings and coachings here at the Blueprint Training for us. He started an agency called Growth Sprints. He's grown to over 7 figures in a year, crushes it, made $500,000 in personal income on his own. Mind you, he was a public school teacher making 1/10 of that salary just like 5 or 6 years ago. Nuts. Super nice guy, deserves all the credit in the world. He put together an amazing offer for the SaaS market. He has an amazing sprints offer, similar to what we teach at the Blueprint Training for SEO, but stripped down and hyper-focused, built to the needs of software companies. So good example of this is for law firms, we have to write all the content because we know for a fact they don't have writers, they don't want to deal with it, they just need the work done and they need to move on. But Brendan, with software companies, they usually have a writer, and he wants to work with companies that are fast and agile and can crank out the stuff that he does. In the market that he has is just looking for a stripped down version of what he's doing for SEO. So he does really good content research, does really good content briefs and some link consulting, and he's able to get very amazing results for them. And because of that, he's grown very fast. Now, what I've also told him is that he's amazing on LinkedIn. Probably one of the better people that you've seen in terms of copywriting, understanding the market. He's got a really good system that he uses for himself to generate leads for his agency off of LinkedIn. And I've told him a million times that the way that the software market's going, right? We just talked about it, the SEO, and how it's very difficult for them to get visibility and results. I think that they're going to be looking to invest their money into other things. And Brendan's got this amazing system for using LinkedIn. I think he can charge a lot more for it, and I think would have a lot bigger impact. Not saying he shouldn't keep doing the growth sprint stuff because he crushes it, but adding on a new, brand new, unique service completely separate of what he's done. So I only suggest this when you've gotten to 100, 200, 300K on your current per month on your current offer. You get it to a place where you can kind of set it, hire the people to manage it, and then you go on to building another bigger offer, brand new, unique, that's built specifically for the needs of the market that you've been working with already. Because now you can go to all these clients, be like, yo, we've been crushing it for you for SEO. I got this whole new thing on LinkedIn. I want to show it to you. Bang, they're all going to buy. That's how you take a client from $5,000 a month to $15,000 a month and build a long-term relationship with them and really sink your hooks into them. And I think that last one is especially important because, again, I've worked and consulted with so many agencies over the years, and a lot of people always ask, hey, when do I add a new service? How do I add a new service? This is how you do it. Don't think about it as a service, think about it as an outcome. Who's your target customer? What do they need? How can you help them? What's the fastest, most effective way for them to grow right now? And then how can you build that and deliver that for them? That's how you add a new service. So don't think in terms of SEO or paid search. Think in terms of outcomes. Think in terms of speed. Think in terms of needs of your market and what they're willing to pay for it and what it's worth to them too in terms of how much business value you're going to drive. And that's how you make it through. And that's how you survive and thrive as an agency and consultant, always until the end of time.